Hello, everyone. Happy Friday. Hello, you beautiful, gorgeous people on this wonderful Friday. We are here, united we stand for Oxfam International, which is an anti-poverty organization. So we're hanging out. We're having a little fun. My time is your time. I want to go ahead before we get started and just give blessings to everybody who decided to spend today with me, hanging out with good people, helping people. That's always good. But looks like we've already raised $369 for Oxfam. So go ahead and give yourselves a round of applause. Let's start by giving gratitude to everybody who has decided to join us. Ooh, I'm having trouble seeing this because I've got Connie. It looks like Connie Brown. Are you the first in the house? Hello, Connie. Thank you for being a moderator extraordinaire, and thank you for hanging with us. Hello to Claudia Cooper. Appreciate you being here, and also appreciate you being a moderator. Sharon Sipe is in the house. Joanne Senior, is that say Senior or just SR? Welcome. Jeffrey Stein. Hello. I got my first vaccine yesterday. I felt nothing. I mean, because he did the little thing where you stick your finger there and you feel the little pressing of the finger and then you inject under. That technique works beautifully. Anyway, but you want to get an inflammatory response. I did a remote view. I guess I'll share that with you now. I did a remote view on the Pfizer vaccine. As you know, the Pfizer vaccine is going to be about as close to a homeopathic as you're going to get because the Pfizer vaccine doesn't really have any preservative or anything. It simply has mimics part of the virus. So I thought it would be fun as we raise money for charity to talk a little bit about the vaccine. For the people who are nurses and doctors here who are like putting their heads in their in their palms and saying, "Oh, Dr. Whimsy." But I thought I would entertain people because people had asked me to remote view and to tell them what I saw happens with the Pfizer vaccine. So let's start with the basics. All right, I'm going to draw a picture, and we're going to call this guy COVID. The things I do for love. I know half of you are nurses. You're probably laughing your heads off. Okay. All right. This little guy's name is COVID. How do you like my artwork, huh? All right. So this little part here is like a hand. Can you all see that? That part that I've circled there is like a hand. The virus has a little tiny part of it that looks like a hand. And now I'm going to draw a circle over here. And this is a white blood cell. We'll call it a T cell. And this is kind of like a spy. It goes around looking for anything that doesn't belong in your system, like a protein. Now, when I remote view the Pfizer vaccine, it looks like it should. The Pfizer vaccine is a clone of just a small portion of the virus, the part that binds to a part of this T cell called its receptor site. There we go. You see how I did that? We'll make it like a little tiny lotus. How's that sound? So anyway, it gets into the cell by latching on with this part here. And so what the T cell does is the T cell sends this virus along with this genetic information back to the main factory, showing it to somebody called a B cell, and a B cell creates something called an antibody. And what does an antibody do? An antibody tags. It goes around looking for that genetic sequence and it tags it. And that's an antibody, right? And then you have these big, beautiful cells that are called macrophages, which means big eaters. And what they look to eat are antibodies. So every time they see something tagged with an antibody, they go and they eat it up. So what the COVID virus is, or what the Pfizer is what they do is they take just the part that your T cell recognizes and produces to make an antibody. And we replicate it over and over and over again. And then they inject it into you. If it's Pfizer, it's green, it's a homeopathic. Why? Why is it homeopathy? Because the first principle of homeopathy is what? Like treats like. So they took something that was like the original. This is how brilliant the Germans are. Homeopathy comes from Dr. Hahnemann, right? In Germany, right? During the Victorian era, when they were learning about vaccination, he said, wow, you take a little bit of something, you create a mild reaction that's similar, like treats like. So what the German scientists who are trained in homeopathy did is they took something that was similar, like treats like. Now, when you go in as a remote viewer, what it actually looked to me was like little tiny sausages. So when I remote viewed my arm, I had no pain initially, right? But why did I want to have pain after I had my first injection yesterday? I had a very strange reaction, by the way, to my first injection. What do you think my first reaction was? I went to the East Indian restaurant. I got a Pilsner and some vegetarian vegan biryani. So I suppose you could call that I was very hungry because I had hiked there, and I hiked. Yeah. Anyway, I felt nothing. 24 hours later, though, your innate immune system, right? Your innate immune system, which contains white cells, which are called neutrophils. That's a fancy name, right? They come up to the surface of the skin and they look for invaders, foreign proteins, right? So what it looked like was it looks to me, when I tried to remote view it, UFO, right? UFO. It literally looked like little protein sausages were sitting in my arm. Little tiny protein sausages. So what's happening now is the neutrophils have sent inflammation around to close off. What the heck is this? What the heck is this? Right? Then the T cells will take it, send it to the B cells. They'll make an antibody, and that's how we'll get the antibody. But in terms of people being afraid of the Pfizer vaccine or anything like that, no, it literally was completely inactive. What was interesting was that it wasn't alive. It was literally like a piece of sausage. Like as I saw it, I was using the sixth chakra to focus on the subject, and this is how it appeared. So my macrophages, right? The cells I have, which are the big eaters, will come and gobble them up, right? They'll be tagged with antibodies, right? But once we have the antibodies and we tag them, homeopathy, right? Like treats like. So I figure, thank you to the person that asked me to remote view the Pfizer. I was surprised by the shape. I thought I was going to get a little bit of a different shape, but it really did. When I tried to tune in, it literally did look like protein sausages. I thought that was rather interesting. I know I bored you. If you're a nurse or a doctor, I know. But that person requested and wrote letters, and yeah, so I decided to do that. Hi, Deanna. Thank you so much for joining the Empath Journey. First class will be tomorrow night at 6 p.m. It is live. We have 2 random physical targets. We'll be learning mostly the classic remote viewing technique for the first part, but it's going to be combined with a little bit of HCRV. I'm going to show you how to locate a physical target. You're going to learn the basic technique tomorrow, and you're going to do this over and over and over again. 2 targets have randomly been selected on the globe. They've been photographed using Google Maps. And we have taken their latitude and longitude, and we've put it in a number sequence so that it's blind. You'll get 2 of those targets tomorrow. And if we have time, we have 2 historical figures. We'll be doing HCRV for that. Sound like fun? And I need a really good student as a note taker. You know that. Thank you, Anonymous, for donating $50 to Oxfam. So be honest, I have no future as an artist, right? Oh, well. You know, when I had residents and when I was training interns, I always promised I was going to be really, really nice because I had had so many traumatic things happen to me. But one of the things I had to do a lecture on was vitamin D and how it helps stimulate natural killer cells. And I had the interns play like they were spies. And I know the nurses are laughing. It's okay. The Aposin, right? That they shoot the Aposin at the virally infected cell in order to identify it. You're not one of us. So I had them like running around, you know, playing like natural killer cells. It was a lot of fun. Thank you, Deanna. And thank you for being a member, by the way. So yeah, I have no talent whatsoever. Thank you. Storm Ewad has donated $20 to Oxfam International. So how did I find out about Oxfam International? Some of you have been with the group for a long time. Hi, Marty. Thanks for joining. Hi, Phyllis Rowan. Good to see you here again. Welcome. So, you know, I love Paul Simon, and Paul Simon has been active in anti-poverty programs for quite a while now. So he has been trying to get people to be involved with Oxfam. He's been working with Peter Singer, who's a vegan, I believe, and animal rights, human rights activist, and has really been pretty involved in trying to eradicate poverty. So, yeah, so as you know, I always like to do at least a couple of fundraisers every month. So I decided this month we would take Oxfam. So did you hear the good news about April? They released the job reports for March, 900 and what was it, something, 75,000 jobs. And then they're like double or tripling it in April. And then the take heart. If you don't have a job yet, give it a couple weeks. But before, I'm telling you guys, get a rest because it's just like in World War II after the War Act, you know. Work, 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 work. All right. So let's talk a little bit about some remote views. Both Lily Adorna asked, what's the difference between the Pfizer and the Moderna? I think the science is the same. We clone a portion of the RNA virus, the COVID virus, the portion of the virus that binds to the receptor site of a immune cell, most commonly a T cell, because a T cell is like a spy. It goes through your body looking for things that don't belong there. That's the function of T cells. And we have different types of T cells. For example, we have natural killer cells. Their main function is to find virally infected cells, but also to find cancer cells. This, and one of the main nutrients that stimulates natural killer cells, or we should say it's a hormone that stimulates the growth of natural killer cells, is vitamin D. And vitamin D is produced on this beginning of production of vitamin D is on the surface of our skin. And then we produce a chemical when we're exposed to UV light, and that chemical is then processed further in the liver and then the kidneys, and it becomes a form of vitamin D that acts as a hormone, helping with bone metabolism and also with strengthening the function of T cells, particularly the natural killer cells. Good question. I'm happy to answer any medical questions people have, if it means raising money for a great organization. $614. Wow, fantastic. How about we do the empath's prayer? Oh, Eileen and Richard are here. Hi, Eileen. Hi, Richard. I miss you both. Thanks for coming. All right. You think we should do the empath's prayer and maybe hang out, or what do y'all think? Hi, Carmela. Carmela, absolutely don't lose faith. We believe in you. We believe in you. We believe in you. We believe in you. You got to have faith in you, right? Let's all encourage and send let's all picture the doors opening for Carmela, and that her faith is restored, and that she is a perfect instrument for the job that is open to her. Because there's a place for her in the universe, and we pray that she finds her place in it so that she can be of service to the world. Hi, Impish Artist. Thank you so much for the donation to Oxfam. Thank you, Eileen. Thank you, Richard, for the $25 donation to Oxfam. We'll do the empath's prayer. Let's have some fun, and let's play with some of the cards I don't usually get to play with. I'll be here, I don't know, as long as my bladder holds. How's that? What do you think? You think we should do a general reading, but do it with the cat tarot? How's that sound? You'll have to help me because I don't know this deck very well. All right, I want to call on white light protection for myself and this community as we ask permission from Spirit to access the Akashic records. We call on our spirit guides and good angels to be with us. Give us the clarity and the wisdom that is needed to empower all of us on our journeys to make the best decisions for ourselves, our families, for the planet, for the people we love, but also to help those we may have strife with. And together we say collectively, Amen. Let's go in and have some fun. Woo-hoo. We don't have to do politics, by the way. We can do anything. I am so tired of politics, to be honest with you. Thank you, Anonymous, for the donation to Oxfam. All right. The community message right now is strong unity. United we stand, divided we fall. You know what I think about when I think about united we stand, divided we fall? First off, the karma card for our community is strong, strength. Look at the little kitty having a little yawn. It's so cute. So our karma is that this community is strong. Our values are strong. We've come together because we're environmentalists. We're trying to walk the good road, have a little fun, et cetera, et cetera. So the community is strong. The summary of the reading for the community is the Hierophant, right? Which is how one looks towards God or spirit. It's the ethos. It's the higher self that an individual may be trying to align with. Hierophant has an aspect of being dogmatic, but I wouldn't associate that it was dogmatic in a group reading where there's strength, where you have two major arcana. I would interpret it as pretty positive, strong, united community, almost like a strong church, a church that's united. It makes me think about. Thank you, Linda M, for that donation for Oxfam. And thank you, Pierre Walker, as well, for the donation to Oxfam. It makes me think of the remote view we did last Sunday when Spirit said that the people were going to rise up and begin boycotting and putting pressure on the businesses, and that we were going to be the change by walking out the door with our paycheck. You remember that remote view? Was it on Sunday? Thank you, Charlotte. And welcome to Fairies and Angels. Hi, Letitia. Thank you for the donation to Oxfam. So basically, what I took away from that remote view, and the fact, then what happened, okay, about Delta and the thing with Coca-Cola, and then, God, what is wrong with Fox News? Did they just want to commit suicide? She was fighting with the CEO of. Yeah, that's exactly what you want to do when your sponsors are being threatened with a boycott. But anyway, it does feel like that's exactly where we're headed. How best can we express our ethos? We can express it with our pocketbooks. If Home Depot, for example, is engaged in work that's harmful to the environment, or political parties that are discriminating against whoever or whatever, then it's not aligned with the values of this community. People who think that way don't tend to be very happy here, because this is a pretty smart group of people. And so it goes back again to the ethos being strong in the community. And it goes back to that whole idea of being like a virus. We have to nip it in the bud. It's like everybody has to get vaccinated. It's so interesting that Spirit gave me that kind of imagery of racism is a virus. We are all infected with it. Prejudice. I'm prejudiced. You know who I have prejudice against? White men with Southern accents. Right? It's a prejudice. As soon as I hear that Southern drawl, and if it's a white guy, I immediately jump to conclusions. I don't think it's going to be someone like Trey Crowder. I don't think it's going to be the liberal redneck. So we all have prejudices, and we all have to take a moment and challenge ourselves, so that we can be better, so that we can be a more perfect union, right? So the Hierophant is strong. The Hierophant is strong. So the strength of the ethos is strong for the community. Let's take a look at the rest of the reading. And hi to 424 of us today. Our first card. Ooh, 4 of Cups. Not sure what we want to do, huh? Some indecision still with people. Still not knowing where they want to go with. There's a lot of people here that have skills in mediation and in counseling. One of the things I've been doing a lot of readings for the group, and the King of Cups, which I read as the bridge over troubled water. If you've ever taken a look at the King of Cups in the Rider-Waite, he stands perfect without moving, and there's rocky waters around him, but he's just stable. He's that bridge you need when you're just collapsing. And the King of Cups, that's how I talk to my cat. I go, that energy of, I got this kind of feeling that, it's just that we're entering a more gentle time in this nation's history. Before it was like dog eat dog. Now it's more, hey, let's come together. Let's help each other. Bridge over troubled water. Also, I think it's a time where we're really reaching across the aisle, because 4 of Cups is about rejecting, right? It's about, That was the card I always saw for Bill Barr, was the Four of Cups. He never wanted to hear anything anybody had to say. He didn't want to participate in anything I was up to, right? So yeah, I mean, that's basically all I would say about that. What is above us? Ace of Pentacles. People who are looking for work, take heart. Look at this in the 4th house. Don't worry. I'm telling you, industry. If 900 and something in March and they were saying in May, imagine what May is going to be like. Yeah. Couple million probably in April. Several more million in May, but May's an explosion. So take heart, Ace of Pentacles in the 4th house. It's what we're manifesting, right, from the heavens. If you study Kabbalah, right, you take an idea, right? It exists in the ethos, an idea or a dream. It exists in the dream time, and then we construct through our physical actions, we draw it down into the future. So what we sit in, Three of Cups, crying over spilt milk, as they say. Ace of Cups. So yeah, there's a little bit of a frustration over finances for some of us. Past placement. 10 of Pentacles. Very interesting. A lot of people may feel that their family alliances, their former relationships, their former homes, everything has kind of been disrupted. I feel like everybody's trying to minimize, everybody's trying to get rid of stuff. There is a real hunger here to kind of like put our family situations behind us, put the past behind us. And the Ace of Pentacles moves into the near future regarding jobs is... We pulled the 9 of, what is this? The 9 of Pentacles? Is that right? Yeah. 9 of, like I'm saying, I'm learning this deck. 9 of Pentacles. Yes. 10 of Pentacles and 9 of Pentacles. Work. Work, jobs, competition, financial stability, reaping what we sow, harvesting, the sun. As it gets hotter and hotter and hotter, industry gets more and more and more and more. You can see the sun card moving into the 7th house. This is all about industry, work, what is around us. The moon is in the 8th house. I feel like for many people, we're doing great. You know, we're getting solid. Our values are solid. We are about our business. We are aligned with the natural order. We're investing in the green economy, right? For those of you who started investing in the green stock market, how are you feeling right about now? Hi, Ruth Davis. Good to see you. Gaia been treating you pretty good, huh? Right? She's taking care of us. So people who switched to the stocks and the market and are starting to go green, you're a little bit ahead of everybody else. You're doing very nice financially. Congrats. So that's more of this idea of harvesting the green, planting, reaping what you sow. It has an aspect of, as much as we love the earth will love us back, because the resources can be renewable or not, depending upon how we use them. If we create a world that is well loved, well nourished, and can produce abundance, then we take a portion for ourselves. Then we can take a portion for ourselves because there's plenty left over. The hope and the fear. See, that moon in the 8th house leads me to think there's a lot of people we may know or people we're concerned about in this group that are just not getting it, or maybe we know Trump support. There's the people around us may still have confusion, howling at the moon. The hope and the fear, the star, right? The redemption, the final outcome for us, the tower. The tower is coming, and it's coming in relationship to Hierophant, the ethos. So big spiritual changes coming from the group. I'll do a clarification, but let's talk a little bit. Let's take a little break before we do the clarification and talk about the reading so far. Is it resonating for people? How are people enjoying the group reading? How will the jobs be for people over 55? You could work for the feds, or you can work for the state, or you can work for the city, depending upon which contracts what you want to do. Thank you, Snagglepuss. I mean, most of the money went to transportation. I mean, they've been honest about that, and infrastructure. A lot went to schools and education. So, yeah. A lot went towards the upkeep of public lands, which I was really happy to see that in the bill, because a lot of these people that are camping on, they're just trashing these public lands. So I was so happy he did that. Thank you, Bluebird, for that donation to Oxfam. And thank you, Connie Morrison, as well, for that $20 donation to Oxfam. Thank you, Anonymous, for the donation to Oxfam. So something's coming. Something's coming. There's a tower for us. I'm not afraid of the tower anymore, because I just think, okay, I'm about my business. I took care of my health insurance. I've got an appointment with the dentist on the 22nd. Okay, just give it to me. Is it another? Let me take a wild guess. It's another tax bill. Just give it. I would rather just show me what the tower is. I'll deal with. In life, there's going to be towers, right? It's something about a spiritual shakeup for a lot of people. People are being shook up spiritually. Look at that. But you got a beautiful sun. Seventh house, which it can be an awakening or a sense of awareness for us. Like that, I get that moon in the 8th house. Yeah, I've been involved with some of that. Yeah, hopes and fears, the star, and then there's the tower. Okay, so the clarification about what all this is about. The sun for us. Oh, Knight of Swords. We are letting go of things, cutting off old relationships. We're severing off relationships with people that are in the state of the moon. So it could be lunacy or establishing boundaries. Page of Swords. Ouch. Hopes and fears, the Lover. And then the final outcome is the Empress, the abundance, right? The treasure trove. A lot of people are artists here. A lot of people expressing themselves. You know what this looks like? It almost looks like a lot of people in this group had to create healthy boundaries between themselves and certain persons so that they could have the freedom to breathe and become the artist and the happy, expressive people that they are. It's like what I love about doing this channel is that it's kind of like performance art, because I've always wanted to be a little bit of a performance artist. And so, you get to be 58, you don't care anymore. Why not? As long as you pay your taxes, they usually leave you alone, right? Or they come after you with more taxes. But, the Empress is great. It's a time of art. It's a time of creativity. It's a time of abundance, brilliant ideas. I also think it's a good omen for the planet as a whole, because it's the card that denotes the planet for me. Wow. Pretty cool, huh? Thank you for the donation to Oxfam, Marjorie. So what do y'all think, huh? What do you think of these cards? That is the Cat Tarot. So cute. All right, let's switch over now to another deck. We'll switch to the Whimsy Tarot. How's that sound? Yes, Chauvin. People had said, are you saying that Chauvin's not a racist? Of course Chauvin's a racist. Because when I had gone into the remote view on Chauvin, Well, here's what I did for you. It's particularly interesting for people who are training to be HCRV practitioners. I did the meditation. I grounded myself. I focused on the target. I imagined relaxing and opening myself up, opening the sixth eye. You focus on use the sixth chakra to focus. Then I go in, I check my different chakras to see how I'm feeling. I document how I'm feeling. I continue to focus with the sixth chakra. So as I was doing that technique, I started to see a hallway. It was a narrow hallway, and it went this way and then this way and then right into the supervisor's offices. And I guess I am kind of like a ghost in the sense that I will often begin to, it's almost as if I start to see a picture with the sixth chakra, and then the next thing I know, it's as clear as day, and I'm there, and I am the person. I can try and see it from any perspective, but as Chauvin, I had been called into the supervisor because I had made threatening statements to a fellow officer. So, what does that tell us? It tells us that it's not just racism. It's the fact that his supervisors didn't take his behavior seriously enough. So we documented that and we recorded it for y'all in the members. But as I was continuing to focus, and my focus is on his records. I'm trying to get in. you know how it works. Some of you do it. So then I said, well, that's interesting data. So I continued to put my attention on the target on that to see, and was there anything else? And then all of a sudden to the right, I saw a woman, another police officer. And she had filed a formal complaint against Chauvin, and she had claimed he had made threatening statements, and I think she felt physically threatened. So now I have two files I found where Chauvin is actually physically threatening his coworkers. So the question that I was left with, see, this is all the backstory. So yes to the racism at the restaurant. He didn't look to me like he was a criminal. Looked like a guy that was having his breath. By the way, I've accidentally passed a fake 20. I got a fake 20 back. I bought a bag at the bus station in Tel Aviv, got some fake dollars. I had the same reaction. They didn't call the police and kill me. They said, this is fake money. So then we had to go back and file a report. And then the shoe man who handed it to me, who he also had been defrauded. The point is that most of the time the person doesn't know and they don't get murdered for it. So it wasn't just the racism of Chauvin. It was the racism of Chauvin. It was the racism of the restaurant, assuming that he was guilty simply because he was Black and male, right? They didn't assume it when I accidentally passed a 20. They assumed, oh, she doesn't know. What was the difference between me and him? And yet it's the same experience. I'm checking out, right? I used to work as a waitress in LA, and periodically we would get fake money, and we were instructed to just hand it back and say, not this bill, and not to assume the person was a criminal and to just not take the money. And we might document he tried to pass a fake 5. And if there was consistent problems with that person, we would say, okay, you can't come into the store anymore. But we wouldn't do all of this. You see what I'm saying? So anyway, so that was Chauvin. So, I was left with this feeling like the restaurant screwed up. The fellow officers screwed up. Chauvin was the main screw up, and his supervisor screwed up because there's no reason that this individual shouldn't have been pulled. The other thing I would say about Chauvin, when I went into the remote view and tried to put myself in his shoes, I felt like I didn't care anymore. I had reached a point psychologically where I was so angry and disgusted with my job that at that moment, I didn't care what happened to me. In a way, Floyd became the perfect scapegoat. He was available, he was vulnerable, and institutional racism put him in a situation where a psychopath was able to kill him. That's basically what my conclusion is. But I would say that his supervisor failed to protect the people in that community, and should be equally held responsible. And if I was asked to write a report, that's what I would say. I don't know. What do you think? Yeah, it's just but how can you be that bad, and you're even to the point where you're physically threatening a female officer, where she was scared of him, and yet you still haven't been pulled. He should have been pulled a long time. That's the thing that, uh, as a remote viewer, that was the thing that was struck with me. I didn't understand why why this was allowed to continue. Oh, the testimony leans towards conviction. I'll be honest with you guys, because you know I'm an empath. I can't watch that stuff. I would get hysterical. One of the officers, I put myself in his shoe. I think it was one of the rookies. He felt so scared and intimidated. It was somebody above him, right? It was an authoritative person above him. So what could he have realistically done? I think that was the argument that he was giving in the remote. Thank you, Anonymous, for that $5 donation to Oxfam. That's much appreciated. If you'd like, I haven't done this on this channel yet. I did a little bit of a read on the other, I believe, Sheila and I, but did you all want me to see how this trial is going to end with Chauvin? Do you want me to take a look at that next? Hi, Anna. Good to see you here. I'll do 4 cards. I'll do a traditional blitz and just do like 3-4 cards, like I'm a 3-4 card Monte. Oh my gosh. Too much craziness. Too much craziness. All right. What will happen to Chauvin? He felt like he had no support from his supervisors. He was disgusted. He didn't care anymore. He was really mad. He was really looking for somebody to hurt. I have upside down. See, they were trying to negotiate some kind of a plea deal and not to go to trial originally, because you can see a 2 of Pentacles, a partnership, an offer. That can be like a negotiation. Lady Justice, the Queen of Swords, is moving in. That's like an energetic force. She comes with a clean sword of justice. But yeah, I would definitely say the lawyers, prosecution and defense are definitely meeting. Look at that. Look at Lady Justice coming in. Aren't these amazing cards? There could be a hung jury. There could be delays in the jury over some of the counts. You can see here the 7 of Cups. People are confused or they can't decide. We could have a hung jury on some counts. I know that's not what people want to hear, but that's what this looks like. So say he is found guilty on 2 or 3 of the lesser charges, and he gets a hung jury on the greater charges. This would be something you would expect from this type of an outcome. You see how it's just branching off and everybody's going in a different direction? Thank you, Christy Price, for the donation to Oxfam. Final outcome here. I think he's going to prison, and I think he's going to have to be an isolated prisoner. And when I follow the energy as a remote viewer, I'm taken to the Northeast, and evidently there's a state penitentiary there. Somebody helped me with the map. Final outcome is the Hermit, which is isolation. He'll be isolated. It's almost like permanent isolation or semi-isolation. Hi, Terry. Welcome to the Empath Journey. First day of class starts tomorrow. Bring your notes. 6 p.m. tomorrow. If you can't make class, that's okay. It's taped. You'll certainly benefit if you have to watch it late. Dang, what do y'all think? God. If I ever got that angry, and I would just say this to everybody else, if I ever got that angry, I would go for help. Just go for help. I remember that I had a boyfriend that cheated on me. That's the most, and then he went around saying stuff about me, and oh my God, I was so angry. I was very young. But that is the most angry I've ever been. It was at a guy who cheated on me, and thank God I don't have weapons. I don't know how to use weapons, but boy, I certainly know what it is to just be seething. I'm an Aries, seething with rage. And, it would be nice if when a person sees themselves getting like that or realizes they have a problem like that, ask for help. Thank you, Anonymous, for that $5 donation to Oxfam. All right, so let's talk about it. Let's talk about the fact that there is this boycott. I want to open up a conversation because, believe it or not, some people had some of the comments we got when we were talking about the fact that there was going to be a boycott. A lot of people felt that it wasn't going to do any good, or they couldn't really understand what the point of having a boycott was going to do, or how is a boycott going to change what they're trying to do on a state level. And they're trying to do this in multiple states. Is it going to be enough? Is it going to intimidate them? If the Republican Party if their donors are pulling out of the Republican Party, what do you think? Is that going to be enough to change direction for them? Or do you think it's going to be more? Is it going to need to be more than that? Or is that going to be enough? Are boycotts enough? And how much compliance are we going to get? Something to think about. So I want to throw on the boycott. And after that, we have a question. I just pinned it. Let me see if I can find it here. Oops, it's around somewhere. Let's see here. Joshua Tatum has a question, I think. Yeah. Okay. So we're going to get to your question, but I just wanted people's opinions. If some of you think it's a waste of time to do a boycott, or and then I'll throw on it, and then we'll go. We'll get to the next. We'll do another blitz. But yeah, what do y'all think about that? Linda M made a good point about the sports events being pulled out of Georgia. Do you think this is having? I think it is having an impact. I do think boycotts work. Mags 2248 says it's going to cause states to think twice. I agree. Joshua Tatum says a boycott is needed. I agree. Okay, let's see what the end result is, and if the people win as a result of the boycotts, then we'll start doing other blitzes. boycott. Yeah, I'll tell you why it's going to work. It's going to work because the old ways are gone. That's basically how I would interpret this. It's going to work because the old ways are gone. You can see right now the shakeup. You know, it's like Fox News. I think Fox News should just go green capitalism. If you want to save and you're a Republican news channel, just go green libertarian capitalism, because as soon as you start talking money, 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 conservative values, and the new green economy, you're going to get all these new young Republicans. Stop fighting what's inevitable, right? But the tower is coming. So I do. There's a lot of people that really don't care. They not only don't care about the environment, they don't understand what's about to happen to America's infrastructure in the next 9 years. I was talking to somebody who's really, really smart and fairly educated, and I had said to her, well, what do you think about the whole flying cars that are going to be coming out in the next couple of years? She said, oh, that won't happen in our lifetime. And I started laughing because they already have them. I mean, it's basically just a drone, and you punch in. You don't drive it; you just punch in your coordinates, and like an Uber, it picks you up, it takes you. And but the technology, they already have them. So I was like, people really are not ready. They think that this is good, and it's not. We're talking like maybe 4 or 5 years. I mean, so I do think that I think that there's a lot of people that are just not prepared, and there is this feeling with the tower, right? That explosion, changes, things are not as they were. Things will not be as they were. Hi, Ruth Pearl. Thanks for the donation to Oxfam. Much appreciated. And thank you for the beautiful art. I absolutely love it. I've got one of her picture of Mila back there next to the one by Heflinger. It's kind of cute. Yeah, 3 of Swords, heartbreak, disappointment. Look at this. Not good, not good. Unhappy. I would say that this is a very effective boycott. Tower, people are freaking out. They're running for the hills. They're being accused of being racist. 3 of Swords, they're feeling betrayed. 7 of Pentacles. I mean, 7 of Pentacles is green capitalism, right? It's harvesting the green. Save yourselves, folks. 4 of Rods, a new beginning, right? New beginning with what? New beginning, green cap. I really believe, I'm telling you, that's going to be a channel that's going to reinvent itself as a conservative, libertarian, live and let live, green economy station. They can continue to be as greedy and selfish and capitalistic as they like. They can just do it and be green. They'll still be fighting about taxes. That's what I predict. All right, this next question comes from Joshua Tatum. Hi, Joshua. He says, hi, Whimsy. Any updates on Jessica Watkins? I don't know. I haven't heard anything, but we can go in and we can access her records and take a look at what's going on. Every time I go in, she says, traitors, traitors. So I think she may have been the person that planted the bomb, and then someone stopped it from happening. And there was something about when we went into the remote that a second squad had not come in. Remember that? So let's see. Jessica Watkins. Picking these up upside down. Oh, God, she's in so much trouble. You can see Lady Justice coming in again, the Queen of Swords. She's very confused. Inverted Queen of Cups. She's very, very confused. She's very emotional. This is a very confused person. It's possibly even delusional as an inverted Queen of Cups. Why are my cards upside down? Inverted Three of Swords could be coming out of a depression, suicide. Final outcome for her is King of Pentacles. Hidden money, hidden secrets. I think there's a part of them that would still like to negotiate a deal with her. I don't think that she's even the most important player, even though she's in a lot of trouble. The fact that they want to do some type of business with her, I think she's on suicide watch if there's an inverted Three of Swords. There's a Fool here. Foolish choices, or yeah, she was caught. Foolish, and it's an investigation, could also lead that she was foolish and they caught her because of her foolishness. She made mistakes. Yeah, see, she was foolish. Here are the experts. Eight of Pentacles coming in. That's like forensics. Here's Lady Justice. These cards are not good for her. Three of Swords was inverted. Possible can denote suicide, the Three of Swords. The Hermit card, again, isolation. If it's a jail situation, that Hermit card could denote that she's in some type of isolation. And then her final outcome with this King of Pentacles, this individual who has some private information. It's almost like a G-man or something, right? The hidden king, the King of Pentacles, who has the secrets, and he has a Wheel of Fortune there. So it's almost like it's her fate that she has to sit down with the feds. I read the FBI as the Queen of Pentacles, and federal officers, like male federal officers who have hidden agendas or secrets, as the King of Pentacles, because it's a card that denotes secrets. So, yeah, I think justice got her because she was foolish, you know? And that's what I see. Such silliness. So many mistakes made. And I really believe if we could clean up our education system infrastructure, a lot of these problems would be gone if we could just educate people. I don't know. Seems like a lot of these problems are just, these people are not very educated. All right, Michelle Maybell has a question for us. Hi, Michelle Maybell, and thanks for the question, by the way. Will Stacey Abrams win her Georgia race for governor? I'd like to know that. Let's take a look. Hi, Nirjana. Good to see you. Will Stacey Abrams win the governorship? It's interesting. Give me a second. They're going to try dirty tricks they're going to actually engage in criminal acts to sabotage her, and they may succeed through criminal acts unless we're very careful. That's the fastest way for me to interpret this. They're thinking of dirty tricks. For example, trying to spread a fake rumor that she committed a crime or she engaged in something salacious when she did not. I'll show you her cards. What's interesting is she's the princess in the pea, right? And I thought that's a hypersensitive person, right? So I thought this was kind of good and interesting because that's exactly how she should be. Even a hint that something is wrong, one little tiny pea, she'll find it, she'll feel it, she'll know this is BS. It's this hypersensitivity, hyper awake, hyper awareness. And then the card that denotes the clarification is an inverted two of swords. Not good, Humpty Dumpty. There's some kind of an attempt here to shake things up, sabotage, or destroy her campaign. The other in relationship to her, King of Pentacles, a hidden king, and then Five of Pentacles trying to push her off, right? Give up the fight. And then, I mean, these people are just awful. Oh my God. Two of Swords also fleeing. And then the Knight of Swords can be quick, violent, attack, aggressive, criminal. It's like the aggressive Knight of Swords, cunning, trickery, attacks, Two of Swords. These are cards that denote fighting, like swords are fighting, disruption. What was disturbing was the final outcome was two inverted cards, poor judgment and an inverted Queen of Rods, which is my way or the highway. So we could find this escalate that it becomes there's going to be a last fight between these two folks. And she is emerging as the inverted Queen of Wands. And you know how I feel about that inverted Queen of Wands. My way, boom, boom, my way or the highway. I seek justice, absolute. I will come after you, right? That's the Queen of Wands. But inverted Queen of Wands, I'm worried she keep your head cool because they're going to they're going to try and make her violent with rage. They want to sabotage her. They want to make her look like she's out of control. There's definitely a racist and sexist element to the campaign that they're going to run against her. Thank you, Michelle, for the $5 donation to Oxfam. And thank you, Anonymous, for the $20 donation to Oxfam. Much appreciated. What do you think about that, huh? Yeah. That's really dirty, though. Anytime I see stuff like that, I always think, "Oh my God, how can anyone?" But I'm so naive. But that's wrong. People shouldn't do that. It should be illegal to do stuff like that. Hi, Renee V. Welcome to Fairies and Angels. Diane Russell. Ooh, thank you. That is exactly what they're trying to do, right? They're trying to, if people are racist or prejudiced or sexist, then all you have to do is try and set up a campaign and then keep nudging the bear, right? Inverted judgment, messing with her head, inverted Queen of Wands. Watch that temper because they're going to keep baiting her. They want people to be afraid of her. Look at how irrational you are. You're a very sick woman. You need to get some help. You're not rational. That kind of gaslighting that Bannon is really good at, right? I think we just threw on the boycott. Yeah, the boycott will have an effect in Georgia because it looked like people were running to get away from accusations of racism. And they were talking about how Coca-Cola had fought on, that they were Fox News was arguing with the CEO of Coca-Cola, and now Coca-Cola is probably going to pull fun. How foolish. I mean, they're like shooting themselves. So yeah, I think it'll work. Hi, Irish. Colleen, thank you for the $5 donation to Oxfam. It's much appreciated. Voter suppression, right? I mean, I can't believe it's even gotten to this point because I thought that This stuff was decided in, what was it, 1867? So, I mean, talk about a virus that we can't get rid of. Thank you for that, Nancy Lee. I would agree with that. It's kind of like what the Duchess of Sussex said, right? Meghan, Duchess of Sussex. She said that she's very aware of how the expectation, right? So, I grew up a nice Jewish girl. I had the same thing. Oh, I better be careful. You want to you're aware of how you are represented when you're a minority. Thank you, Marjorie Laura, for that joining of Fairies and Angels. Okay, so we have a question here now from Joel Tilson. Thank you for the question, Joel. Joel wants to know the future of the filibuster. That's a good question. Let's find out. Yeah, I can't. That's another thing. How can the filibuster even be constitutional? I mean, they just do everything to hold on to power. Yeah, the fool running after the butterfly, trying to catch, doesn't realize where they're taking themselves. This party is really not thinking about the future. They're not thinking about the 35-year-old, same things again. I don't think this is constitutional. There's an aspect of this that isn't really constitutional because they're engaging in foolery. The emperor, right? The emperor is objective reality, right? The inverted king of rods, right? Abuse of authority, poor leadership, right? And then the final outcome, king of pentacles. So I think business is terrified of this. Could really harm them. This could really harm them. They don't want to boycott. They don't want to boycott because the businessman wins. Also, you look at companies that advertise, like McDonald's, Mickey D's. It was all marketed to get people of color, African Americans, poor people going into poor neighborhoods. Welcome, Marvel Johnson, to the Impasse Journey. Thank you, Nancy Reynolds, for the donation. But if that's who you're marketing to, Big Mac and a Coke, right? Because they have a contract with McDonald's, right? Coca-Cola has a contract with McDonald's. So everything they produce, Fanta, their root beer, all that stuff that comes from Coke. They know who their demographic, so it becomes a fine. Look, it's bad for the bottom. Racism is bad for the bottom line. Sexism is bad for the bottom line. And as far as the Republicans are concerned that are funding the GOP, all they care about is whether or not it's good for the businessman. The final outcome is the businessman wins. I'll do a clarification on it, though. The businesses are going to start going green and promoting themselves green because it's good for business. Yeah, and justice is coming in. Queen of Swords. Yeah, it's not constitutional. It will be found not constitutional. Because I would denote the emperor as the Supreme Court. It's straight up. And the fact that in the future comes the Queen of Swords, which is The Sword of Justice, and then the Page of Cups, which is an offer to heal, would lead me to suspect that the business world, the desire to heal Page of Cups was clarifying the businessman, which is the King of Pentacles. So the business world is attempting to heal the situation, heal the rift. Does that help? Came out a little strange. And Marie Henson would like to know about the new Texas laws as well. Will they be tossed out? So I'll pull 4 on the Texas laws. And then I'll take a break and just talk, hang out. How's that sound? For a few minutes. Texas. Texas' political future. 4 of Cups. Nice. Interesting. 4 of Cups fell out. Let's put that back for a second. They don't want to change, right? 4 of Cups. They don't want to change. They don't want. I just was reading an article and I sent it to Sheila from Celtic Tarot that $1.9 billion dead livestock, something like that. They lost. Sheila was talking about they lost a lot of chickens because chickens can't warm themselves. Thank you, Anonymous, for the Oxfam donation. Okay, Texas. Loss of grain stores. Everything's in 2 inversions, 3 inversions. Not good. I never feel good about Texas's future. Inverted 9 of rods. Not good. Could be a loss of grain stores, loss of farming. Inverted 4 of Pentacles. Yeah, they lost a ton of money. Not good. 6 of Pentacles coming in for them. An inverted King of Swords. It's really like a battle with the old guard. An inverted King of Swords is a psychopath. So, hi, Avenues Wellness. Welcome to the Empath's Journey. First day's class is tomorrow at 6 p.m. Hope to see you there. So, I think it's going to be difficult I'll be honest with you, with Texas. I think that they're going to fight voter suppression tooth and nail. I think they're very terrified in the new green economy because there isn't much of a future in Texas with the old economy. The fact that it doesn't surprise me that we had an inverted King of Swords because that's exactly what you would expect to get from that community. That's fighting to keep these laws in place. Okay, the clarification, inverted Queen of Rods, right? The angry female, my way or the highway, fighting back. Inverted 10 of Swords. Oh my goodness. 4 of Swords. Oh my goodness. Final outcome, inverted Tower. What they're going to try and do is pass little tiny laws, hoping that they'll slip through on local levels. And inverted Tower, it's going to be a battle, to be honest with you. Texas is going to be a battle, and every local seat and every state seat has to be fought for with those types of cards. I'm sorry to say. Wow. And then the fires caused the lumber prices to go up, so the housing is going up, right? So everything is just wild right now. I was talking to my sister and I was saying, I'm thinking about buying some land and doing some permaculture. And she said, why? My older sister. And I said, just to live and be. She's like, do you want to travel the world or do you want to buy land? I said, well, I really kind of, I'm kind of happy where I'm at. Maybe travel the world. She says, it's a disaster. She says, don't farm, don't do it. She said, because she's a master gardener. She said, you can't leave. You're going to, going on vacation. The more you invest, the more tied you're going to be. You're never going to be able to go to India. You're not going to be able to do this, that, and the other. So I was like, whereas now, why leave? All my needs are met. I'm downtown. I got you guys. I don't have any debt except for my student loan debt, which is another whole thing. But I mean, I don't know. What do y'all think? The older we get, should we, maybe we should just keep our lives simple and travel, see as much of the world as we can. Wow, Lynn Streeter. How many people here, if you could, would become nomads? I'm just curious. If somebody handed you the keys and said, okay, you're debt free, they put a bunch of money in your bank account, they gave you a beautiful van. Hi, Bridget, Lorenzo. Welcome to Fairies and Angels. Good to have you here. How many of you would take the keys to the van and drive off into the sunset if all your financial problems are taken care of? Looks like half of you would, more than half. Interesting. How about how many are you are 50-50? How many are you 50-50? Like I could see myself going 75-25 or 50-50. That's where you keep yourself frugal like I did. I'm in a rent controlled apartment. I keep things simple. You put a little bit of money aside and then you can go on a couple extended road trips a year, but then you have a home base. You keep your life simple. I eat rice and beans. I'm a vegetarian. Keep my life simple so that I can put a portion for the road trip. My friend Ursula and I are going to go away for a week. So we will not be having the remote view next week because I'm taking a week off. Like how attached are you? How attached are you to, I guess that's my question. Like how attached are you to the physical things around you? Would you be happy if you just had a van, a great van, had all your needs met? It had an eco toilet. It had a place to cook your meals. Thank you, Dove Girl. Welcome to the Empath Journey. Would that for me that would be enough? Well, you know what? No, it wouldn't. Now that I'm thinking about it, because there's a part of me, I love taking a warm shower and a warm bath. And I think I would have a real hard time giving up. I really am spoiled. I'll be honest with you. So I think I would become depressed if it went on too long. To be quite honest with you, I'd be like, okay, I'm starting to get depressed. I need to get a bath. I need to get to a hotel. It can be 2 stars, but if I don't get a shower. Shop Girl says yes on the bath. Well, Aries, they say Page of Wands is the Aries child or the fire child. Often Aries, the time of spring, late March, right? Early April, first couple weeks of April. That's the time of the Page of Wands. And it's symbolized by, it almost looks like a phallic symbol and it's sprouting to symbolize the time of the spring. So I do always think of it as a time of Aries, an Aries child. All right, let's, are we ready to do some more blitzes? What are we doing? Oh, welcome to the Empath Journey, Tracy. Class starts tomorrow at 6 p.m. Please don't forget, and please bring your notebooks, people. You will need a notebook. everything has to be dated and documented. You'll learn also how to keep a remote viewer's notebook. Pierre Walker is working so hard. We have to go, thank you, Pierre Walker. You're being very helpful. Oh, wow. That looks very interesting. Okay. We have a pretty interesting question coming in from Steve Myers. Is that the same Steve Myers I went to high school with? If it is, good to see you. Could you read on the fate of Don McGahn? What do you think? What an odd person he is. But yeah, let's take a look at that. The future of Don McGahn. He used poor judgment. He made a mistake. Also, this card has an aspect to it in the Whimsy deck of gossiping, spreading rumors, or giving information to the. There was something about loose lips sinking ships, poor judgment. He exuded poor judgment, which led to something about a relationship, a codependent relationship, or devil, or challenges with some kind of a relationship that he had trouble severing or getting away from. He engaged in poor judgment when he ended a relationship that was codependent between himself and someone else. Which would lead me to suspect that whoever this person was would probably want to exact revenge. I don't know anything about what's going on with McGahn, but inverted king of rods. Yeah, he's not doing too good here. Final outcome is the ace of swords. Justice and truth will prevail. If I were him, I would be nervous with cards like that. Thank you, Jennifer Russell, for that $20 donation to Oxfam. And congratulations to everybody that's been part of our charity drive. We are raising a ton of money for Oxfam. Oh my gosh. What do y'all think? His cards are terrible, by the way. Don't you think his cards are just awful? Not good. The class, HCRV will be Saturday evenings at 6 p.m. Some classes will be live and some classes will be taped depending upon my schedule, because sometimes I have conferences, things I'm doing on the weekends, but most classes are going to be live. I'm not that social, you know. But hey, first vaccine, and then next week with one vaccine, I am going to the coast, and my friend, she's had both of her vaccines. So I think if we're cautious, I should be okay. I'm definitely mounting an immune response, so I'm happy about that. They say after one Pfizer, you got about anywhere from 55 to 75, depending upon your immune system. So I'm happy about that. So even if I do get COVID, it'll probably be a less severe reaction, just because I'm probably going to be having some antibodies. So I'm very happy about that. Hi, Jane. Thank you for the donation. How many people were completely lost when I decided to talk to you about my COVID remote viewing? The science, did it just make no sense whatsoever? How many nurses got a chuckle? How many doctors got a chuckle? Hi, Earth Eyes. Thank you for the donation to Oxfam. Oh, Posy Gallery, thank you very much for the Oxfam donation. Oh my gosh. hear the doggies fighting downstairs? Sounded like a very angry little doggy. All right, great question from Joshua Tatum. Whimsy, what are the future of global LGBTQ rights? Good question. Let's find out. I have to believe that it's a beautiful future because we are evolving towards perfection. Tikkun olam, the fixing of the world. Oh, really, Renee? V, thank you. You did understand. I was wondering, do people know what I'm saying here? Because I thought I was doing a good job. Ah, Nancy, good. Good for you. The future of LGBTQ rights in the world. Angry doggy. There's going to be international UN sanctions on countries that violate LGBTQ rights. That's the conclusion based on these cards. Hi, Jennifer. Welcome to Fairies and Angels. I'll show you the cards. Eight of Rods, LGBTQ community is going to safe harbor, right? They're being taken to safe harbor. Very good, very, very good sign. Inverted Queen of Rods, right? Sometimes you'll get inversions with the LGBTQ, which is they, right? Or with transgender. Unfortunately, these are the cards only have two genders. Sometimes they'll invert them for that. Inverted Queen of Wands can be, again, my way fighting. So this is also what we saw with the AIDS movement, right, in the 80s, where justice ye shall pursue, justice absolute. Inverted Queen of Wands is aggressive, though. She is fighting. So we have to keep cool. However, the good news is future card, the third card is the future, is justice will prevail, and justice is straight up. And then Six of Rods is the final outcome, which would, and you can see, just for you, Joshua, Spirit sent you a little tiny rainbow. The signs are everywhere. Spirit gave Joshua a rainbow. So yeah, we will prevail because perfection is, we are, right? The prefrontal cortex is winning, right? We're evolving towards cooperation, love, cooperation. We are expanding Gaia's goodness into infinity. She wants us to be rich, right? She wants us to keep loving her so she can love us back, right? Continue to take care of me so I can continue to love you. Yeah, so unity is the natural order. That would be the conclusion. Love that. Look at that little rainbow, the LGBTQ symbol. You gotta love the way spirit comes in and gives readings and encouragement. That was fun. Aw, got a little smiley from Joshua. Thank you. Love the name Joshua. That was positive. All right, we've been together for about an hour and a half. How about we do one really, really good question and then we call it a night? Sound good? Can anyone? I can't see how much we raised. Does anybody know how much we raised? I can't see the actual number. For whatever reason, it's blocked. How much we raised for Oxfam. Oh, 1,112. Oh, awesome. It's the fundraiser is going for. Oh, great. The fundraiser is going for, I think, another week and a half, something like that. So tell your friends to watch today's slumber party. And I think we're going to make it. I think we'll make it. Yeah. I told Spirit, I was like 2,000. We can, it's a good number. Oh, I loved Mork and Mindy. I miss suspenders. I liked the way that she dressed in that jumpsuit. I wanted to get myself a jumpsuit. You can still get those on Amazon. They were popular, then they fell out of popularity. Like the Tool jumpsuit, they're so comfortable. All right, one last question. Did anybody want to close out our slumber party today with a final question? Did everybody get to see the remote view today? It was so much fun. Santa Rose, was that not awesome having her there? She's so sweet. Yeah, empath class starts tomorrow, Saturday, for the empath journey. It will be introduction to remote viewing, and we're going to dive right in, and I'm going to show you exactly how to do it, exactly how it works. And we have 2 targets. We have 2 locations. You're going to be randomly. I randomly selected 2 targets, 2 physical locations. So we're going to do the basic technique. That'll be fun, right? And then we're going to do the more classic HCRV, where we have some historical figures that I've taken. I've also selected. Nine days left for the fundraiser, Bluebird said. Yeah, I think we can make it. 909 days, $100 a day. Maybe, maybe not. We'll try. Renee, we threw cards on would Stacey Abrams be the governor of Georgia, and it said that she's really going to have a hard time because of trickery. So it's just something. It's kind of like in the air. There's going to be a lot of trickery to try and stop her from. She has a lot of adversaries in Georgia. Good question from Ruth Davis. I think we'll just close on this. I'll be honest, I didn't know if I was going to be able to teach the class because I was doing it, and then I thought, well, how am I going to teach this? And then I had to break it down into the 5-step technique. But something that everybody can think about is get yourself into a relaxed state. Think about the target, focus on the target. Say I give you a target and it says GB, GB 8912 is the target. So it's hidden, you don't know, and it's a coordinate of a location. So you would put yourself in a relaxed state. You can write target just so that you to the left, you'll write target in the coordinates. And then what we do is we have you get into a relaxed state, and then we have you tune in to different chakra points. This is the HCRV basic technique if you're scanning a grid. And then what you're going to do is I want you to focus on the 3rd chakra, which is your true north, right? It's your gut. Remember how we had talked about the fact that the 3rd chakra is your true north? So what you're going to do is you're going to meditate on the globe, and you're going to focus on the target. And then as you focus on the target, you're going to physically see an image. I have a photograph of an image of the target. But I also want you to check in with your 3rd chakra to see if you're physically pulled to a location. Is the target in the northern hemisphere, the southern hemisphere? So one by one, we'll be asking questions, and one by one, you're going to be checking with your internal compass, the 3rd chakra. And this is the basic technique. You're going to open up the 6th chakra, focus on the target in a relaxed state. We'll show you how to get into the relaxed state. And then locate it and attempt to get images by digesting it, by focusing on it with the sixth chakra, but also the sensations you're receiving from the third chakra. So that's how you'll be locating targets tomorrow. Like I said, sometimes I feel like I don't always explain it well, but yeah, we're having Easter brunch together, Jackie, on Sunday. That's true. And that's also public. That's for everybody. That show is always public. That's true about cats. All right, everybody. Cool hanging. Did that help a little bit with what I do? Like I relax, I focus on the target, and then I start also feeling with my gut, and it's like, yeah, you start feeling whatever. Hi, Kim7. Welcome to Fairies and Angels. So sometimes if I'm in a relaxed state and I'm reading the news in answer to Ruth Davis's question, and sometimes I will find myself just like swimming in a dream state, and then I'll start focusing with the sixth chakra and start seeing something in my mind. And the next thing I'll come to the conclusion, like, for example, Harry didn't publicly come out and say that most of his mental health problems were his father, actually, more than the press. So, but in the remote view, when he was the target, that's what he said. That kind of information can sometimes just be accidental, or yeah, I think that sometimes you get surprised like that, where you're just like daydreaming, and maybe you look at the Huffington Post and you read something about the royals, and then you fixate on it. This is what the Tibetan Book of the Dead says. We have to be very careful where our mind goes, because a random thought can take you to a very bad place or a good place, right? All right. Love and light, everybody. If you haven't had a chance to do so yet, be sure to share, like, subscribe, click the bell notification. Thank you for hanging with me. This was fun. I do. I mean, there's one more question from Dove Girl. Do we protect ourselves? Some people think that grounding is all you have to do. When I was trained, they didn't do the bubble of light, the shield of protection. They said, no, just ground yourself. There's no boogeyman coming to get you. It's very practical. You go in, you ground, you imagine, and then you abide and relax. And then you focus on the target, and you allow the sensations to come in. And then you begin to slowly focus on the gut. And maybe you'll ask questions and see how the gut responds as you focus on the target. It's the same thing. Trust me, you're going to do this so many times. You'll be well trained in HCRV by the time this is over, I promise. All right. Thanks, everybody. Have a great night, and I guess I'll see you all, tomorrow night at 6 if you're going to class, and then Sunday at 11 if you're coming to Easter brunch. All right. Bye, everyone. Thank you. Thanks for coming. Bye.